Adikavya. Adikavya means it is a trend setter kavya. Genre we call it. Genre. It is the first, it's a genre. And then the long parampara is in Sanskrit, not only in Sanskrit, in all Indian languages, not only all Indian languages, everywhere in the world. I also tell you one more fact, that simply as Rigveda is the first literary work available to the humanity, not Indians, not Bharatiyas, not Asians, not Europeans. It is for the humanity, because there is no older text dated earlier than Rigveda is available according to all persons, according to East and Western scholars. Therefore, as Rigveda is the first book of the literary piece of the world, literature of the world, similarly, Ramayana is the oldest poetry of the humanity, not Bharatiyas, because we have enough grounds, enough arguments, which I will not deal with them, and to prove that it is much earlier to Homer, Iliad and all that, and to our best knowledge today, it is the oldest literary work. Poem is only Iliad, written by Homer, and Ramayana is much earlier than Homer. Therefore, first poetical piece of the world, humanity, is Ramayana. In Sanskrit, among the all world literature, Sanskrit has got very large amount of poetics, that is the science of literary criticism. Hundreds and hundreds of books are written from starting from Bharata to Jagannatha. A long line of writers are there, and they have prescribed so many rules, not to do this, do not do this, and the do's and don'ts. That is the job of the Alankara Shastra Granthas. And where from the rules came? You see, rules do not come before. You see, even in the case of grammar, language is first, grammar is next. After language comes into the vogue, then a person of brilliance will start doing some grammatical formulations. Similarly, when there is a Lakshya Grantha, that is when there is a literary work available, then only specifications can be drawn on the basis of that work and prescribed for future writers. This is the case everywhere. Therefore, Ramayana stood the only example, piece of example for all of them to see the prescribe the formulations of literary criticism. Therefore, I don't want to go into, it's a very vast field. I don't want to enter into that. I will tell you only one thing as an example. You see, Bharata Natya Shastra, which is ascribed to be 4th century BCE, prescribed one rule that in the plot construction, we have a great plot construction science in India, that is Mukha Pratimukha Garbhavamarsa Nirvahanakhya Sandhis, Pancha Sandhis they call it. It's a very great scientific way of elaborating and developing the structure as such, which should be known to all bright young minds and future writers and future composers. It's very much needed. Great scientific way of developing the plot is available in Bharat from BCE period, that is from 2500 years parampara. Bharata has first prescribed it. And in that, Bharata prescribes a rule that in the Nirvahana Sandhi, Adbhuta Rasa should be introduced. And then later on, you see in Shakuntala, in Nirvahana Sandhi, Matali comes from Swarga, and Vidushaka episode is there, breaking of his neck and all that. And then immediately Matali takes Dushyanta also to Indraloka, and all this is introduced in a very popular drama in Sanskrit, which is related to a king and queen. You know why? It is the 6th and 7th act. Adbhuta Rasa should be introduced. This is Bharata's prescription. And where from Bharata got the idea of prescribing it? There should be an example beforehand. That's why the Sundara and Yuddhakanda is full of Adbhuta in the Ramayana. Ever since Hanuman comes on the stage, the Adbhuta Rasa comes into the Ramayana story. Till then, there is no Adbhuta at all. Kshatra, Parakrama, Shaurya, and Virya only. It is only with Hanuman everything comes. Beautiful turn of events after you can see from Sundara and Yuddhakanda. Seeing Ramayana, the prescribers of rules have made a mod. So it stood as an example for 3,000 years. And you know how much of literature, Sanskrit literature developed later on? You cannot count it. Thousands and thousands of literary works have been composed following these rules, and the source is Ramayana. That's why we call it Adi Kavya. It is also Itihasa because somebody might have already all episodes of Ramayana have got archaeological evidences, epigraphical evidences. The story is related to 3 nations today. At one time, they may be Bharat, but at this time, the story relates with 3 nations. One is Bharat, the other is Nepal, because Janakpuri, Sita's birthplace, is there. Mithila is in Nepal. She was born and brought up in Nepal and those days of Mithila, and Bharat, and most of the part of Ravana's story in the Lanka. And all the 3 nations, the people have got, the places are there, named after them, living traditions are there, living observations are there. You cannot even with one stroke of order deny them, cannot shake them, because they have perpetuated into their blood. A commoner, a person knows. In India, there are abundant places of Ramas. Similarly, Ramayana sites are abundantly available. Ayodhya is there. Sarayu Mata is still flowing. And what else you want? Therefore, we believe totally the historicity. Okay, some parts of some embellishments may be by way of story. And then Rama Setu is also found. Satellite pictures, a link between Dhanushkoti and Sri Lanka is seen beneath the water. And that is what is called, what is held to be a Ram Setu.